Hey guys, it's Dustin. So today is, I guess today is the 10th. I didn't even look for taking my video. I think today's the 10th. Anyways, it's Wednesday. Um, I'm just going to go over a couple more things today. I got my phone up so I can see the comments. But Zara Baruch Bilay, I apologize if I did not pronounce that right, and I'm sure I didn't, so there's my apology. But you expressed that you were glad I was doing videos every day, and lately it does seem like there's been enough going on that I can take a short video every day, so I'll do that. But you also said that you were wanting to know more about how I got the white birds. So I'll spend a little extra time today going over how different ways to get white birds. And then also, Naris Rosé, or Norris Rosé, I don't know. Anyways, you asked me why I don't just grab my young birds out of here, my young birds that I was already flying, and just leave the auction birds in here. I could do that, I certainly could, but there's just not a lot of point in it. The reason I pull them out and fly them is to strengthen them, get them ready to race. But I'm going to have to take my auction birds, the 4 auction birds I got in here, plus the 2 that are almost ready from down here, and if that Grizzle pair I have gets ready close enough time, get them, put them in here too, maybe hold off till then, and get them up to the same strength as these guys before they can really start training as a team. So there's just not much point in it. I'm certainly, and yeah, I could do it, and you might say, well, wouldn't the birds like it more? I apologize, I'm sitting the camera down on my tripod. But you might say, well, wouldn't the birds enjoy that more? Yeah, they probably would, but every time I open this door over here is a chance for birds to get out. And I don't want any of those auction birds getting out. I might never see them again if they did at this point. There's a chance that I would be able to get them back, be able to get them into the loft, but it's unlikely. So I just, and grabbing birds out of there, even though most of my pigeons are pretty tame, reaching in there and catching them, some are bound to try and not to be caught. Those white birds would be especially bad about trying not to get caught. The white homers I've got up there. And that would probably just start stressing the auction birds out. I don't want to do that, so that's why I haven't been pulling them out. But I am going to hand feed them again today. I'll do that in a minute, but we'll step inside the breeding loft first. If I can get a camera off the tripod, there we go. Step inside the breeding loft first. Just got to unlock it and get in there, so we'll be back in just a moment. Alright guys, so now I'm out in the breeding loft. It's pretty warm today. There's some flies buzzing around, unfortunately. They seem to just be house flies though, and the house flies are certainly a nuisance. But as long as I keep the loft pretty dry, which it's been staying pretty dry, they shouldn't really be able to breed in here. The flies shouldn't. Not as long as I keep everything dried out. The larvae shouldn't be able to survive. But pigeon flies are what I really worry about, but I haven't noticed any of those yet. So it's pretty hot out here though. I've got several milk jugs to fill back up with water. I've already got the water hose turned on. I just have to toss them out here and then I'll fill them back up. But go ahead and check things out in here. So I've been asked plenty of times about white pigeons. Now the normal white homers, like I've got out there in the flying loft, which y'all just saw a moment ago, but pretty much everyone knows what a white homing pigeon looks like. Those are from a what you would call self-white. It's a gene that causes the entire body to just all the feathers to not have any pigment in it. And when crossed with dark colored or with colored birds, usually that results in a splash, which is one that just kind of has white and the dark color and the colored parts to it. But there's other ways of getting white too. So one thing that I've done, not really intentionally, it's just kind of how it worked out. Well, let me show you parents first. This hen right here is a Grizzle. Let me step over here and make sure you can see. Hopefully y'all can see that. She's not wanting to cooperate with me too much. Kind of in the shadow over there. Let me bring this forward. There, you'll probably be able to see the colors on. So look at these feathers. You see there's they're lighter closer to the shaft, and then they get darker towards the edge, and you can see that stays the same on the darker body feathers too. Let me see if I can single out one feather to show you. So you can see how it's lighter towards the shaft and gets darker out here. Well then, I made that, the one I just showed you is the hen. I mated her to this ash red cock. Now this one is a T-check, but with ash reds, the lighter body color is just this really light gray. And as he's gotten older, he's gotten some more reddish coloring to it. This one feather here even has kind of a little bit of black on it, and that's because he also carries the blue gene. But of course, the recessive red shows through. Not recessive red, sorry, ash red. But you can see on his tail here, you know, the normal body coloring is just that light gray. So when we apply the grizzling to a bird like this, we get one of these. Now this is a Grizzle, but it's an ash red. You can see a little bit of dark coloring there. You see that? That's the reddish coloring. And then you're not even going to be able to make it out on. You're not going to be able to see it on camera, but the very ends of its flight feathers do have a little tip of kind of a gray, creamy color. Tell you what, there's a couple birds I should have. There's a bird I should have brought in here before starting this video. Give me 1 second. Alright guys, I'm back. So I went and grabbed this pigeon. This is another ash red Grizzle, but this one's a little darker. Easier for you to see. So you see the red coloring coming through here. On the ends of the feathers, hopefully you can see they're a little bit gray. If it'll focus. It's not wanting to focus, but they're a little bit gray at the end. Actually, it's a little easier to see on that wing. Hopefully y'all can see. But from the underside, the bird appears white. And it pretty much looks white when it flies. And this is a full-blooded sibling to this other pair. So that Grizzle pair there. But so that's a full-blooded sibling to them. Now then I also got this blue Grizzle. And I'm not exactly sure. It's trying to get away from me. Anyways, this one's not being so cooperative. You can see it's got the black on into its feathers. Now I'm not sure why this one came out so much lighter. Usually you have to breed a Grizzle to a Grizzle to get something so much lighter. And if I did breed a Grizzle to a Grizzle, there would be a lot less black on the ends of the wing. Some of this gray you're seeing through here wouldn't be there. The tail would be lighter too. It's going to have kind of a normal looking Grizzle tail, I think, for the most part. That's just kind of how that one turned out. But so you can get almost white birds like that. If you bred an ash red to a Grizzle to an ash red Grizzle, I suspect the birds you would get would be pretty much white. So if you would, where'd the pigeon go? There it is. So if you bred two pigeons like this one together, two ash red Grizzles like this one, I suspect that you would get pretty much a white bird. So then I've got one more bird over here. Now this one is a roller. This one's Grizzle too, but you see the ends of its wings aren't dark. And that's because there's something special going on with this one. There's another gene that causes, and let's remember that white is just the absence of pigment in a feather. Turning back this way so you can see what I'm doing. Let's find a good example. Here's one. Here. So here's another gene that causes white feathers, and this is called piebald. I've mentioned piebald before. These rollers, most of my rollers are bald-headed rollers, meaning they have white heads, and that white is caused by the piebald. Now, this one has half white wings. It's molting, so it's a little rough looking right now. It's got an all-white tail. Now, he's got a few gray feathers in here because he carries ash red, but those feathers are white. Now, let's see. I've got another pigeon, which I'm not going to pull out and show you right now because he's sitting on eggs. I bred him to another pigeon with white, and here's their son. Now their son also has a white tail, but the white on his wing spread. You see, this one has more white on its wing. Its dad didn't have that much. Its dad's, the white probably came across right here. And it certainly didn't have these extra secondaries down here that were white. So the piebald spread on this one. So the piebald will do that. And if you can continue to breed piebald that's spreading, this little pigeon I showed you here at first is the daughter of that one. So you can see the white spread on its wings even more, to where this one has all white wings. It looks like it's going to have white tail. You know, just its shoulders have color. Around its neck has color. Most of its head is going to be white. You can see most of its body feathers right here are going to be white. And I apologize, the lighting's not real good, but you can see the piebald is spreading on this. So, in theory, you should be able to continue to breed piebald birds where the piebald is spreading, and eventually create a completely white bird. That piebald is pretty easy to set. If you could get it to cover an entire pigeon and breed several pigeons that were completely covered with piebald together, you should be able to get it to stick. And again, I've got some more examples of birds that have more piebald. You see these satinets, pretty much their whole body is white. And again, so just the spreading of that. Set this thing back over here, and then let me show you one more pigeon. And this is actually a combination of the two. If you don't have long enough time to breed for it and work on a bird that is either one or the other to make it white, grizzle, red grizzle, that's really light colored, especially if you had mixed dilute, gene dilute in there, which lightens colors already. That would make it even lighter. But if you don't have time to get piebald to cover a bird, and you don't have time to get ash reds really light looking, though to be honest that happens pretty quick, you could meet halfway in the middle. This bird right here is a red grizzle, and so you can see it's already lighter colored, but it doesn't have any dark markings right here on the flight feathers. Hopefully you can see. It doesn't have any light markings there, not on the tail, and that's because this one has the piebald. This is actually its mate right here, the first one I showed you. If I can get him to sit there for a moment. He actually is the same genes. Alright, so it's the same genes that give it that piebald, but if you can use the white flights, the piebald white flights, and mix that and white tail and white head, and mix that with a grizzle, then essentially you're looking at a white bird like this that would be even lighter if it had 2 doses of grizzle. And you're looking at getting rid of this black coloring on the feathers. So if you could combine that with an ash red grizzle like this, that should make it pretty white too. I can barely hold on to these guys or it won't fly off. But that in theory should work too. So, and there's plenty of other genes that cause birds to be white. This pigeon right here has something called tiger grizzling, which causes kind of a checkerboard effect of white feathers, but you could breed it to be more and more white too. So if you're willing to put in the work breeding, there are multiple ways you can get white pigeons. It just depends on what you have to work with and how much time you're willing to put into it. So lots of people ask me how to get white birds and how they get white birds from colored birds. And again, when I say colored, I'm just talking about something like this, either blue or red, something that has the color on it, versus something white. Usually, I mean, even something like these grizzles I was just showing you, even these, they count as colored, they're just grizzles. But yeah, so if you're willing to put in the work, you could create white pigeons that way. Yeah. I'll take the camera off the tripod now. There's my white grizzles there, or my lighter colored grizzles there. And again, they should be ready pretty soon. I suspect that I may have eggs down. Yep, there's an egg. So this black homer hen paired to this blue bar cock, they just laid, and someone's on my back. I'm not sure who it is. Yeah, who is that? Oh, it was this little roller. It landed on my head the other day. Anyways, so they've laid another egg. The second one should come tomorrow. That's good. That's their baby right there beside them. And they also have a black baby, which should be here somewhere. Nope, not down there. It might be over here. There it is. So they've got a black baby right there too. Let's see if I can. He doesn't like me very much. But getting bigger. Should be eating on its own. Here's the baby from this nest right here with the tiger grizzled mom. It's doing better, or doing fine, I guess I should say. So here's these satinets I will be breeding together, but not just yet. These two pairs still sitting on oh no, one of their babies hatched. What do you know? Look at that. That wasn't supposed to hatch till Friday. So sometimes you will get eggs that hatch early. I think y'all saw that. I'll pull it out again, even though she's not liking it, just in case. This baby had hatched today. It wasn't supposed to hatch till Friday. Today's Wednesday, so it should still have been in the egg for 2 more days, but it's not, so, you know. Glad I checked. Better go ahead and write that down on the calendar. Here's one of their younger ones up here. But, so today is the 10th. So, go ahead and put that down. I always put a little check to simplify it. Hello there. Can I help you? No? Just want to join me? Okay. Well, I always put a check symbolizing that it did hatch. I'll just kind of draw a line, a little arrow, and check this one off, assuming the other one hatches tomorrow. So, this pair of babies still doing fine. They're not really seeming to care for this nest bowl, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, toss it down here somewhere. I'm probably just gonna pull those babies out now, change out all the material in that nest, get that changed out, and hopefully they'll go ahead and lay again in that nest. Hopefully these guys lay again too. It looks like they're starting to make a nest in there. They were checking out this nest box. Put this satinet cock back. Come back here. Harder to catch them with one hand. Alright, come here you. And I'll stick the hen in there with them. Might do it tomorrow. Might wait another day. That's fine. She's still feeding these babies. She's at least feeding that one. Here's the other baby. Doesn't seem to have been fed, but she might not be feeding it to the floor. But there's waters down here which need to refill. They still got food in there. I don't know that y'all can see. And I've got a pigeon on my back again. This one seems to like me. I haven't done anything to tame this one, but it seems to like me, so, you know, that's cool. But, honestly, I don't know, there's a lot more to show you. I need to scrape everything down, but, I'm not going to do it right this moment. I figure probably no one wants to watch me scrape poop anyways. Maybe no one, maybe someone has a question. How do you scrape poop? Well, here's how you do it. You take a scraper and you scrape it off. I have my nest boxes away from the wall a little bit. I got this 2x4 here. They're up against these 2x4s, so it makes a little bit of space right here, but not enough for the pigeons to fit through. So that's how you do it. So now, if anybody has any questions, now you know. So this pigeon down here is still, I mean, it can't use this wing. I'll sit it up here for a moment. Let it have a little time out here in the open. It looks like it could be a hen. I'm still not sure if maybe it hurt its wing without me realizing it at some point, or what, or if it's just genetic. Because no, it's the other one. This wing, I mean, it can't use it. Won't open it at all. I'm not sure why it's like that. And it looks pretty rough right now. That's mostly because it's going through the molt. But I don't know. This pigeon right here does look very similar to that one. Can't help but notice that. Now I think this one's just a red check. Its parents are right here. That's the dad, and that blue bar, or blue check right there is the mom. So neither of the parents have Grizzle. So where'd it go? There it is. So it can't be Grizzle, but it is something how similar it looks to this one right here. But I'll have to stick that homer back in the young bird loft, or my temporary young bird loft. Oh, I mentioned to y'all that I was trying to breed out rollers, trying to get a good flock of rollers out, and I never told y'all why. Once I get a good flock of rollers out, I'll pretty much shut down breeding until I need to breed out some more. But the reason I'm trying to get so many out is because I'm planning on doing a mobile loft. I'm going to go ahead and step out of the loft here because it's pretty warm in here, but we'll walk and talk. So a mobile loft is basically what it sounds like. It's a loft that you move around. You might think that sounds kind of odd. Why would you want a loft that moves around? How are the pigeons going to know where to go home? Well, that's kind of the tricky thing, is you don't want them to home. That's why rollers are a good candidate for a mobile loft, is they don't home very well. Not to say that they can't. They certainly can, and they will. Oftentimes, when scared off by hawks, the rollers come right back. But, well, not right back, but after a little while they'll come back. So they certainly can home from a short distance, but they don't do it very well, so it makes them a good candidate for a mobile loft. Trying to get my tripod set back up here, but the reason I want to do this is so that I can take them to local schools, churches, that kind of thing. You know, kind of raise some pigeon awareness, I guess. But I've always just hated it that I can't take pigeons with me somewhere and let them go for people to watch. Pretty soon I'll be able to do that with my homers, but they won't, you know, stay there and fly around very long. They'll only be there for a minute or two, and then they're gone. But the idea with the mobile loft and the rollers are that the rollers will continue to fly around above the mobile loft for the crowd, you know, whoever's watching to enjoy. And then, you know, upon being called down, for me that means whistling, they drop down to the mobile loft and go in, feed them, pack them up, take them home. And the idea is that because they're not homing, they're just circling around that mobile loft, you can take them basically anywhere to let them go. So that's how that works. And it's more complicated than that, of course, but it is more dangerous than having them at home, because if a hawk were to scatter them and they go flying off, they may not really home, they won't just come home because you've taken them somewhere. Now, I know from what, because I've put a camera on homers before, that homers, if they should choose to, it was young birds doing this, instead of flying right home, they kind of went off on a joyride, almost in completely the wrong direction. Basically, I don't remember exactly where. I guess they were supposed to be home was east of where I let them go, and they went kind of a northwest, you know, a little more north, but a northwest direction. But then they actually turned around after about 20 minutes and came right back to the same spot I let them go, and then flew home from there. So it's reasonable to suspect that the rollers would come back to where they were released with the mobile loft. But it's just more dangerous in general, and I'm more likely to lose birds that way. So I want to have plenty of them. Not necessarily to, you know, replace the others. It's not like they're just, you know, disposable. But just better to go in with more birds, knowing that it's more likely that something could happen. And there are good things about that. I mean, for one, the hawks get used to seeing the pigeons here. They work out a schedule. They know when the pigeons are going to be out and that they're going to be here, and the pigeons won't leave here. With a mobile loft, you're taking pigeons somewhere where hawks aren't used to them being. So it doesn't necessarily give the hawks the advantage in planning there. Kind of surprise them if they do come by. But you know, so there's ups and downs. But mostly I want to do this so I can take pigeons to places for people to see, and I'll fly them around home too. So if I do it nearby, it is possible that they could home to here as well. But so that's just kind of what I'm thinking. But well, I'm gonna feed the birds, hand feed these birds soon. But I gotta refill waters and stuff. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope I did a decent job of explaining a little bit there about how to make white birds, whether you're wanting white homers, white rollers, whatever. Hopefully that all made sense. But thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Alright, I really am going to start telling y'all to like and subscribe, and thanking y'all for watching my videos as a whole separate video, because I keep doing this. But I just remembered while I was hand feeding my young birds, someone asked me why my auction birds looked puffy. I don't remember who it was that asked. I'm not really sure what you mean. This is one of my auction birds right here. After when they eat a bunch, they kind of get this bulge to their crop there, and the feathers on the back of their neck right there stick up a little bit. But I wouldn't really say that my auction birds look puffy. See their feathers, this is an auction bird, you see their feathers stick up on the back of their neck like that after they eat. And he'll come take a drink and then he'll be fine. His crop will just be a little more filled out. But I don't know that I would really say that, and see, there he goes. Looks a little bit more normal now. I wouldn't really say they look puffy. Let's see. I think here's another auction bird right there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure what you mean. They're doing quite well. They're very healthy. They don't seem stressed. They've been eating out of my hands. This is an old bird right here, but they've been eating out of my hands just fine. They've all learned to do that pretty well. And here's another auction bird right here. Yeah, I mean, they see his neck's kind of bulged out right now because he's eating. I should have shown y'all before I started feeding them, but yeah, I wouldn't really say they look puffy. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Feel free to leave a comment explaining that, or maybe they just kind of looked, I don't know, something looked odd about them in one of my videos I took. But they're doing real well, eating out of the feeder. They're doing just fine. I am giving them quite a bit of food right now. I want to make sure everyone has good weights before I start training again, because it always takes me a few days to figure out exactly how much to feed to keep them hungry enough, but not, you know, let them get thin. So I like to have plenty of weight on them when I start the process. After adding these 4, then taking out the 2 white birds and putting those other 2 birds that are down there in here, it'll be, you know. But yeah, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But again, thanks for watching my videos, guys. Thanks for leaving comments. As long as you leave comments, I'll do my best to answer them. Usually I'll leave a reply to the comment, but I'll answer them on video too. Honestly, not that many of y'all leave comments, so it's not too difficult to answer all of them. So yeah, as long as y'all have questions or there's something you want to see, let me know. But thanks for watching, guys. Take care.